What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the J72 Gaming Channel. My name is Jacob. You can just call me Jay here. And today we're in Weavers Fen, and Weavers Fen on this server is owned by this guy, none other than Shroud himself. It's actually the first time I've seen him, so I figured I'd just kind of start the recording and just kind of show off that he's here. Things have definitely kind of gone left and right for him as far as streaming goes. I'm just gonna take a look at the map. If you guys want to check back in some of my earlier episodes of this series where we're checking out the houses, you can see that the map used to be extremely yellow, and well, now it's pretty much owned by marauders. So it's been a bit of an up and down time for the Covenant, let's say that. Anyway, let's dive back into the usual intro. Just kind of wanted to show off that he's here, and it's kind of interesting to see he's definitely the most popular person on the server. So anyway, let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's dive into that intro. Today I wanted to show you every house in Weavers Fen, which ones I think are the best based off of each tier, based off their looks, locations, and their general vibes. Now, if you guys are new to this channel, I welcome you. I usually make videos on survival and crafting games alike, but guys, I'm having so much fun with this game as well that I wanted to share some of the aspects of it that I'm enjoying the most with you guys. So in this video series, we're going to be showing you all the houses in each settlement to hopefully let you get an idea of where to call your own and maybe help you decide if the housing system in this game is worth it enough for you to dive into the world of Eternum here in New World. Now, like I said, up today is Weavers Fen, and historically it's owned by Shroud and his company known as the Hanacondas here on the server, but that kind of changed. In these videos overall, we'll go over each house tier by tier. So we'll start with tier 1, followed by 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to be ordering by which ones I find the coolest and most useful, saving the best ones for last. If you know which tier you want and you are just here to check out those, check out the timestamp below. Alright dudes, make sure you sit back, kick back, and go grab a snack as we dive into each house here in the swamps. Let's do this. Alright, first things first, let's take a look at the map before I head into the live gameplay section of this video. This here is the New World interactive map on the website Map Genie, link below. It's super useful in finding pretty much anything you need to know here in the New World. The map you can see here is the swamp of Weavers Fen with only the house filters and the tier of each one shown as well. We'll be using this map quite frequently in this video to help you get an understanding of the town a bit. Alright, first up, the single tier 1 house. Alright, so the single tier 1 house, you can see here, it's up in the kind of northeastern section of Weavers Fen. Here it's just going to be a single story, kind of a long rectangle shape, which is fairly good. However, it does actually have the balcony out front, and a theme we're going to be seeing here in Weavers Fen that I actually really enjoy is the fact that almost all the houses have balconies, and some of them are what I've been calling in previous video copy-paste templates, right? They're basically the same floor plan that you have in places like Everfall and Windsward, but here in Weavers Fen, they look different because they're all kind of like crappy, you know, shacks in the swamp. They're not really super aesthetically pleasing, but they do all have kind of like additions like balconies and larger deck areas that are kind of like extra, if you will, as far as the normal floor plan. So pretty good. So yeah, here's the tier 1 in Weavers Fen. I recommend this one over the other one because there's not a other one. Let's go check out tier 2s. So next up for tier 2s, we have 2 options, pretty on par for the tier. And these ones, I don't actually have one that I recommend over the other. It's basically what you want. So showing you off the first one here, this is going to be the one I recommend if you want a lot of balcony space and you don't care so much on interior. This is going to have a huge balcony, and it's honestly right in the middle of town, which is kind of cool. So you can set up like kind of like a little seating area, because I know, like, personally, I like to if I need to walk away for like 10 minutes to go get some food or whatever, I'll usually fast travel back to my house and just kind of sit on my balcony or whatever. It's a good kind of like AFK spot, or good place to get some screenshots, kind of hang out. Or I guess if you have some company over, you can, like some group members or whatever, you can hang out for a bit, you know, figure out what you guys are going to do for the day. Anyway, my point is you can set up kind of like a table sitting area here and see pretty much the majority of town where everybody hangs out. So that's pretty cool. On the inside here, it's just going to be nothing spectacular. It's actually smaller interior space than the tier 1 that I showed you. So most of the value of this place comes from that outside porch. And the second tier 2 is actually right over here adjacent to the tier 1 that I showed you. And it is gonna be kind of one of the only copy paste, or rather reuse template to a T that we've seen in like some of the other ones. So it's your generic 2-story house here. And a lot of the ones in Weavers Fen actually have balconies. We'll see that coming up in the tier 3s. They have balconies here and here instead of windows, which I really do like. So unfortunately, I don't really like this tier 2 in Weavers Fen. However, if you find it okay and you want a lot of a lot of interior space for your tier 2 in this, right, you can kind of like hide your you can hide your chests under the stairs and stuff like that, you know, keep things a little bit more cozy than you would in that previous one. Then here you go. This is the 2-story tier 2 in Weavers Fen. All right, so for the tier 3s, we've got 6 options for you guys to choose from. 2 of them are kind of the ones I was telling you about, where it's a 2-story that has a balcony edition, and 3 of them are more unique to Weavers Fen, which is cool to see. But the bottom of the barrel choice here, that 6th one, is going to be this guy here. I'm not even going to bother going inside, guys, because this is the one we've seen time and time again. This is the 2-story with just a small balcony out front. Or porch rather, no balconies upstairs, and yeah, pretty basic. So you get the extra chest space and the fast travel thing, but otherwise this is pretty much the same as that tier 2 I just showed you. All right, now heading up these stairs here past the Covenant Leader and the inn, we've got this one here. This is gonna be the first of those 2 that I told you guys about. Oh, this guy has 6 points. Sometimes the point system is very glitchy, so although he has 1 basket, he might actually have just 6 points. Anyway, this is that 2-story I was telling you about. That is the same template that you have with the other buildings that we've seen time and time again. However, here in Weavers Fen, they give you these little balconies, which just add a little bit of uniqueness into the houses here in Weavers Fen that I actually really appreciate now that I've been going around looking at all the houses. So you do get a little bit more value and a little bit more of a, you know, kind of entertaining view. I actually think this view out of this house is fairly decent. So yeah, let's go check out the other one just like this. Also, this guy obviously has more of the 6 point. He bought all the super high valued pay to win pirate things. All right, back down here near the you know, first place we showed you guys, so the tier 1 and the tier 2s, we've got this tier 3 here. Now this one's going to be very similar to the other one that I just showed you. However, this one does have a little bit more balcony space, so you actually get a little bit more bang for your buck with this one, which is why I'm showing this one after. But you got your basic 2-story with the Weaver Fen additions, which is cool. You can get a nice smelly view of the swamp if that's your style. I personally don't like this town that much. I think it's kind of hard to get around. Oh, let me turn the HUD off for you guys. It's kind of hard to get around, but it does have its own unique charm. So, you know, I'm glad there is a swamp town. Otherwise, I would probably be like, man, a swamp town would be pretty cool. Like, I don't want to live here, but I'm glad it's here. You know what I mean? All right, so up here by the war board, we have the next tier 3 that I want to show you guys. And this one's going to be interesting because it's unique here in Weavers Fen, as in it's the only one that looks like this in Weavers Fen. However, it is actually something we've seen a lot in like Cutlass Keys and First Light. So it's going to be a 2-story here. But what makes it interesting is the balconies up top here. You've got kind of 2 open areas. This one's got a view of the swamp. And then this one has a very open view where you're pretty much like in town, which is very interesting. So yeah, kind of unique floor plan on this one. Also, that's new. I haven't seen that. What is that hanging? It almost looks like a bunch of bees nests, although it's what, a bunch of baskets. Interesting. Anyway, moving on. Now, the last 2 that I'm going to show you guys for tier 3 are actually single stories, but they have a lot of balcony space, and they're more or less identical. I'm going to show you this one first because this one's over by the exit here. We're at the, what is this? The southwestern exit. And it's got a ton of floor place. This guy put his chests out front. It's got all this. It does have a tree in the middle, which is, you know, kind of interesting. I guess it's technically unique as far as floor plan goes. But yeah, you can get a lot of space with these outdoor balconies. And living in the swamp, I feel like these interiors don't matter as much, at least to me personally. It's really all about kind of the big balcony spaces with Weavers Fen. That's really the vibe and aesthetic that we're going for here in the old smelly swamp. All right, but that leaves the last tier 3, the one that I'm going to recommend for you guys. It's going to be this one here. Go ahead and hop into this guy's house here. So you can see there's a ton of balcony space. Almost not as much as far as like these brown low tier one, but you actually have 2 tiers. You can go up here and build it as well, which is honestly pretty unique. You don't normally see kind of 2-tiered balconies like that, where it actually gives you access to the second one. Interior's nothing crazy. I do wish it had a little bit of a balcony right here. That would have gone very far for the value of the property, overlooking that waterfall out there. It would have actually been a pretty darn good view as far as the swamp goes. But yeah, this is going to be the one I recommend. You can do a lot with this interior because it's very large, even though it is just single story. And this guy's got, is that a tier 5 fishing trophy? I think it might be. That's high value right there. He's got some good trophies in here. That's pretty cool. This player is obviously a guy who doesn't care too much about the interior design, but just wants the house for the value, and that's totally fine. So if you are like him, this is going to be the tier 3 that I recommend for you guys. All right, guys, so for the tier 4s, we've got 7 options. It's actually the most options you have here in Weavers Fen, which is interesting. It's a little bit heavier on the tier 4s. I'm going to categorize these in kind of 4 different groups. You got 2 of them that look like the first light floor plan. You've got 2 of them that are pretty unique to Weavers Fen, which is cool. Then you've got the 2 at the very top, which have massive balconies, so those are going to be the ones I choose for you guys. However, the very last one is going to be this guy, which, while he does have a decent porch space, the interior is very, very boring in my opinion. It's literally just a 2-story with no balconies, so very closed off. You can see that the person who owns this house hasn't even really bothered doing anything other than owning it for the trophies, like that last person we checked out. Does have a pretty decent balcony space in the front, which is great. I do honestly enjoy that, but you are getting a tier 4, so you kind of hope that you get a good balcony and a good interior. So yeah, this one's going to be bottom of the barrel for me. Then just around the corner from that guy is going to be this one here. This is going to be the first of our 2 that I've been calling the first light floor plan, right? There's a few in Cutlass Keys is right, but all right as well. But this is going to be the one that is 2-story. It has kind of like the interesting side balconies. And while these are pretty cool, you've seen that there's a few tier 3s in this city as well that are basically identical. And this one doesn't really have a balcony to go along with it, so it gets a little bit of a dock in points in my eye. Actually, guys, as I look at this a little bit longer, I misspoke. I thought the property was just right here, but it actually does go all the way back here. So I take it back. This one's actually a little bit better than I thought. Does have some kind of interesting balcony space, or porch space, I should say. So yeah, I take it back. This one's actually all right. Now, coming just across the street from the 2 that we just looked at, we have this guy right here. Again, this is going to be one of the first light floor plans. This one doesn't have an extended porch area, so this one, I guess, is worse than that other one. But yeah, it's going to be that 2-story floor plan with a little bit of the sides hanging out, and they do have some pretty good views. I like that they put these open balconies in Weavers Fen. This has a great view of the inn, but just generally I think that, you know, they're basically the same as a lot of the tier 3s. So with tier 4, I'm hoping to get something super unique to the city itself, which we do have, so let's work our way over to that. All right, so all the way at the north end of town, we got the first of these next 2 that look the same. And I have been looking for Shroud's house, guys, but I haven't found it, so maybe he doesn't actually live here. I have no idea. I was curious to see what he did with the place. But yeah, this is going to be a fairly unique floor plan. It does have a cool view of this back waterfall area, like I said earlier, that I hoped that one house had. So it does have a decent porch balcony. Keep interchanging those words. But yeah, it's basically a 2-story, nothing crazy. What makes these guys a little bit more unique, though, is for whatever reason, they actually have over here a staircase up to a small little porch area that has no access to the top story. So yeah, not sure what's going on with that, but kind of interesting. All right, and another house here that is identical to the last one is this one, and I actually should have bit my tongue, because if I go in here, look who I found. Let's check out what Shroud has done with this place. I'm gonna assume not too much. Oh, I assumed wrong. I was gonna say I assume he's probably just putting stuff down for the trophies. He really is just kind of plopping stuff everywhere. Bit messy, Shroud. Anyway, this place has a backyard porch, and it's identical to the last place I showed you with the second story that Shroud has done nothing with. Is that a tree? What is that? It's a weird, like, voodoo thing. He's really packing stuff in here. Very interesting design choice. But yeah, it's got the spot as well as the last place. Good place to put the cannon. I'll agree with that. Yeah, here is this place, and this is what Shroud's done with this stuff. I do like what he's done with the Halloween jack-o'-lanterns. Not bad. All right, but let's get on to the 2 tier 2s that I recommend. And actually, both of these are absolutely fantastic, and I like both of them equally. So I'm going to show you one before the other, obviously, but I recommend them equally for the best places here in Weavers Fen. What makes these guys really cool is they're both stuck over here adjacent to each other. So you've got this one right here and you've got that one right there, and they're both around the trading hall. So when you teleport in, you're going to be right next to all the trading posts, which makes things super convenient. Now this one right here I like because it's got well, actually I like both of them because they've got a very unique porch space. This one wraps around here and actually goes underneath. You can see the player put some like cabinets up there, which is interesting. But both of these are just kind of unique, right? Like they've got a little bit of extra addition to what you've normally seen. Now obviously the interior, this one is what I've been calling that first light floor plan with the 2 balconies, but this balcony overlooks the trading post, so it's pretty got high visibility, and it's also got a view out the back of that cool statue and the waterfalls and stuff. So it's got a little bit of everything that you would want out of a balcony in this place, as well as having the excellent area over here for a lot of space. Like look at this, it runs all the way over here, so you're getting a ton of balcony space to work with, which is pretty cool. And then just around the corner here, going through the trading hall here, you've got up this way the final tier 4 I'm going to show you guys. And what I like about this one is that I think this has the most unique porch design out of any house I've seen. It's just odd. It's like got angles, right? It goes all the way over here. So this spot right here is just pretty cool, and I really like it because of that. Again, it just makes it unique, and anything that's different than some of the other houses we've seen in some of the other settlements really makes it stand out to me. Besides that, this is going to be the 2-story Weavers Fen template, which has the balconies out the both sides. So it does have that, you know, the best view in Weavers Fen of this waterfall area, as well as I'm going to say it right this time, a balcony, not a porch, of the trading hall. So yeah, pretty decent. So yeah, guys, whether you want to go with that one for the 2 balcony style at the front and the back and the weird shaped porch, or you want to go over here and grab this guy for that first light aesthetic with the good giant window balconies out the sides and the front, and that big porch space down there, I recommend both of these. They're both going to do great. They're going to be awesome places for you guys to hang out. If you do want to live in the smelly swamp, that is up to you. I don't judge you, but I'm not living here myself. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for this episode here in Weavers Fen. I decided to do the outro here, sitting in Shroud's pile of junk, you know, very aesthetic location. The next episode in this series is going to be over in Restless Shores, and after that we'll be moving up to Brightwood, following with the grand finale, final 2 episodes, which I'm super excited to bring you guys, of Ebonscale and Reekwater, both places that I am going to be living myself, so maybe by then I'll actually have my houses and kind of show you guys some stuff, but you know, the territory standing grind is real. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode and this series. If you would like to join my Discord, link is down below to talk all things survival games, New World, anything that we're doing here on the channel. Would love to see you guys over there. Besides that, remember to like and subscribe, do all that awesome YouTube stuff. Really does help push this video and this series in the algorithm, since YouTube doesn't really care to push New World content out to people from me, since I've mainly been doing some other stuff. So it's good to, you know, try to broaden the channel, and I would appreciate any help from you guys. All right, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. But until next time, peace out.